Okay, in the option number 4 that we can see that we have this last icon available just to explore our data. Just to use it, we need to go up in the hierarchy to the first level, and that it's the years. Once we are in the first level, we are able to use this last icon or this last option, that is to expand all the next level on the hierarchy. That means that the next level that you're going to see in the visual is the quarter of the years, but you're going to distinct the quarter number 1 of the 2017 to the quarter number 1 to the 2018. Let's see how it looks. And click on that, and when you click on that, now you can see that we can see more columns inside our chart. The first column is quarter number 1 of 2017, quarter number 2, 3, 4, and start with the quarter 1 of 2018, and in that way. So this option go down to the next level on our hierarchy in a complete way. So you're keep looking and you're going to see even more columns in the next level. So if I go to the next level using that option, I'm going to see every month of the year of the whole hierarchy level. And if I go to the next level, I'm going to see every day, and in that case we are going to have a huge table, or sorry, a huge graph with a lot of columns. But it's an interesting way that you can use to explore your hierarchies in your report. Okay, that's very interesting. It's a way that we can use to explore our data using the visualizations, using the hierarchies that we have. Now we are going to see how we can create those hierarchies, because in this case we use the date hierarchy that Power BI by itself already built for us. But we are going to see how we can create our custom hierarchies, because in our business we can find new ways or new hierarchies, but it's not a natural hierarchy. It's a hierarchy that it's own of our business. So to do that, you just need to go to the table where you need to create a hierarchy, and go specific to go to the specific field where you want to create the hierarchy. So in this case we are going to create a hierarchy in our product table, because our products has a hierarchy that it's for example, first of all the category, in the next level we have the segment, and in the last level we have the product of our hierarchies. So all that you need to do is right click on the column that you want to create a hierarchy. Once you right click in that column, you're going to go to the second option, that it's new hierarchy option. Click on that, and you can see it's loading. You're going to see that it's going to appear a new field inside your product table that it's called category hierarchy. So in this hierarchy we just have the category field. Now what we need to do is to add some other fields to that category, to that hierarchy, sorry. And for example, we want to add the segment to the hierarchy. So the way to do that, it's really simple. You just need to right click in the other field that you want to add, and you are going to go to the third option, that it's add to hierarchy. So in this case the tool show you the hierarchy that you have able to add this field. So click on that, and I just add the segment field to the category hierarchy. Takes a few seconds, and that's it. Right here we have inside the hierarchy now category, segment, and we just need to add the product. It's the last one. Right click, go add to hierarchy, and select the hierarchy that we want to add the product field. You can rename the hierarchy. In this case, I'm going to rename that to product hierarchy, and you can start to build your custom visuals using that that hierarchy in your report. For example, we can create I'm going to create a new matrix. So let's create a matrix, and in the rows we are going to create the product hierarchy, and we just want to see the revenue inside the columns. So now we have the first level is the category, but if you click on the plus option that we have in each category, you can expand the next level. That it's okay. Let's go and see the different segments that we have inside inside the mix category. So in this case we have all season, extreme, and productivity inside the mix category. The same for rural, extreme, productivity, select, but inside the category rural. And even you can expand the next level of the segment to see the different products that you have inside that segment. That's perfect. It's another way to explore the hierarchies using matrix, but even you have the options that we already see previously, that it's okay, go to the next level, and now we are looking the whole segment in all the categories, and in this case we create our custom hierarchy, that it's our product hierarchy. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the next topic, that it's going to be how to create tables with DAX. We already see how to create columns with DAX. Now we are going to learn how to create tables with DAX, and we are going to create our custom table for our date table, because as you can see in our model, we don't have a date table and it's something that it's important to different models, because you need a master table or a master date table, that it's the table that it's going to control the whole time dimension inside your model. So as you can note, in sales table we have the column date, but the problem with that column is that maybe if we don't sell nothing on a specific day, we don't have dates of that date, because we didn't sell something. So maybe our date column has duplicate values, because we have more than one sale in the same date. Maybe we has missing dates because our business is not 24/7 or something like that. So in that case, it's the recommendation or the good practice is that in your model you may have your own date table, and that's the table that we are going to create with DAX. To do that, it's really simple. You just need to go to the again to the visual of the report. And if you go to the modeling tab, you can see that we have the options, that new column that I already use, and new table. So click on that and let's see how simple it is to do that. When you click on new table, it's going to appear the formula bar, like it's the same formula bar that we just see with the column, custom column or the calculation column. Before the equal symbol, remember you need to put the name of the table. In this case, I'm going to use timetable. And after the equal, you are going to use the formula for that table. In this case, we are going to use a function that it's called calendar function. So if you write calendar, you can use the assistant of the tool just to auto-complete or terminate the text of the function, and the assistant show you what the function needs. So in this case, calendar function needs an initial date or an start date to build the table between those dates, so an initial or start date and an end date. So in this case, we are going to create our calendar. The start date, we are going to use the function date to specify the date 2017, month 1 and day 1. And the end date, we can, for example, something that you can use is like write the specific date that you want. In this case, for example, I can write I don't know, 31 of December, but it's something that it's not a good practice, so we don't recommend too much to write or type the specific dates like in the initial date, because it's not going to be dynamic. So you can do something more dynamic with the tool that, for example, use the function today. So in this case, your start date is going to be always the same, the first January 1st of 2017, but your finish date, it's going to be dynamic. It depends of the day that you refresh your report. So today you are going to see that today that it's, in this case, today it's September 7th. Our table is going to be between January 1st 2017 to September 7th of 2020. So let's take a look what happened when you enter finish your function. So the first thing is that you can take a look that you have a new table inside your fields. So in this case, you have this table called time table, and in that table you have one field that it's the date. And let's explore the data. We can go to the data explorer, and we can see the table, time table. So you can see that you have the table between the 1st January of 2017 to, if you go scroll down and go to the last row, to September 7th of 2020, and that's perfect. That's what we need. One thing that you can do is change the format or the data type that you have in your column. In this case, you just need to select the column, date column, and go to the column tab options, and you have the data type, and you can change that from date time data type just to date, and your column, it's going to be update. You are going to just to see the date and not the time, and that's perfect. And the next step is connect the table to the model. So you just need to go to C or go to the model visualization. Remember, it's the third option that we have, and just you need to relate the date table with your sales. So in this case, you just need the key could be the date column, so date with date. In this case, the tool recognizes that it's a relation one to many, so that's perfect, that's great, and that's what we need. So in this case, the recommendation, it's everything that you are going to create using dates, you should use the time table, because the time table it's complete, it's a whole perspective, or it's a master table that you have for the time perspective. So when you create that, go to the view of the report and take a look of something that already happened with our column chart that we just create with the date of the sales. Then, and now you can see that you have a value for each different date, but it's too much columns, so it's more like to too much noise in this graph, we cannot analyze something inside this visual, so we just need to recover the initial visual that we have. So you just need to change the value of the data that you are using in your axis. So in this case, you just need to specify that now the axis or the date axis, it's going to be using the timetable that we just create. So in this case, you can see now we have the table like at the beginning, like a preview steps. We just have the hierarchy view with the years and the quarters and the months. Great. So now that makes it possible now that we can create something that we call in Power BI the daytime intelligence, time intelligence functions with DAX. So for that, we are going to introduce the next topic, and the last one. It's the measures or the calculations that you can use in your reports, or that you can create in your report using DAX. It's really easy to create some measures. You just need to know a little bit about DAX, and you can create some calculations in a deeper way using time intelligence with DAX. So just to show you how measure works, I'm going to create the same measure that maybe that we are using the whole moment. So in the different visuals that we are using, we are looking the revenue. But what is happening with the revenue? Actually, the revenue it's being zoomed. So Power BI it's create a zoom calculation of the revenue column, and you can know that when you go to the revenue column, you can see that the icon is a summarization icon. That means that Power BI by default can, because this is a number, it's able to create a zoom using that column. So that's the reason that when you use this field inside the different visuals, what Power BI is doing, it's create the zoom of the field of the column, and you can see the zoom of the revenue for the different perspective that we have, the manufacturer, the countries, the dates. But you can create, or you can specify or create a simple measure or a simple calculation like the same zoom. So for example, if you right click inside the table where you want to create the measure or the calculation, you have the option. The first option is new measure, so right click and click on the first option that it's new measure. It's working on it, and you're going to see the same formula bar that we have when we create custom columns and custom tables with DAX. It's the same case for measures. We are going to type the name of the measure. In this case, I'm going to create revenue measure, and the value of the formula, it's going to be the function zoom, because we want that the measure create a zoom, and we need to specify the column that we want to zoom. In this case, we want to zoom the revenue column in the same table. So enter, and let's see what happened with our fields inside the sales table. And now you can note, you can see we have a new field that it's called revenue measure, and you can see that it has a new icon, that it is a calculator icon. So that means that field, it's a calculation that we have, a measure that we just create, and you can start to use that measure inside your visual. So in this case, you can create and I'm going to show you that it's the same values. I'm going to use the revenue column and the revenue measure, and you can see that it's the same value. It's doing the same. It's just summing the values on the column. That's perfect. It's working great. But the measures give you the opportunity to create some custom functions or custom calculations more specific or more deeper in some ways, and revenue for a specific product or revenue for a specific manufacturer for a specific country, revenue for the previous year, and we are going to create that example. Using time intelligence, we are going to create the revenue of the previous years. Just to see the difference, I'm just going to you guys add a slicer inside your report. Basic is another way to make filters in your report. And in that slicer, I just want you to add from your hierarchy level of dates your year. Drag the year field, and you can change the way that you're looking that filter with the header of the filter. I just want to see a list of the years. So in this moment I'm going to check the 2017. So in this moment everything inside this page, it's going to be filtered using the 2017. So that means that this is the revenue that you're looking at this moment right here. It's the revenue concerned to the 2017. So now what we are going to do is to create a new custom calculation that it's going to show us the revenue of the previous year. So in this case, when you select 2018, you are going to have the value of the revenue of the 2018, but you are going to have another measure that it's going to show you the revenue of the 2017, even if you didn't select that year. It's really easy to do. You just need to right click in the table, remember the first option, new measure, and all that you need to do is create another function using the time intelligence function. In this case, we are going to name this measure revenue previous year, and for example you can create the calculate revenue measure. Even you can use the measures that you already built. So in this case I am specified, okay, I need to create a calculation of the revenue measure, but I want to add a filter to that calculation. So in this case the filter that I am going to add, it's the previous year. So I want the calculation of the revenue measure, but based on the previous year of the date. So remember, we need to specify the date in which table which table controls the dates in our model. Remember, it's the time table using the column date, and enter. And let's see what happened with that measure when we put the measure previous year inside this visual. So in this case you can see we have the revenue of the 2018, that is the first column, but now we are looking the values of the revenue of the previous year in the other column. And that means that in this case, for example, mixed category has a revenue in the 2018 of 9 millions, and the previous year was 7 millions. And it's great that now give us the possibility or the options to create some deeper calculations. For example, the percentage of grow up of our revenue. So in this case we are going to calculate if we grow up in our revenue or we didn't grow in that case, using those measures. It's really simple to do. We are going to create a new measure. Once we have the revenue of the previous year and the revenue of the revenue measure, we can create the percent of growth, and we just want to divide the revenue measure, we just want to calculate the revenue measure minus the revenue of the previous year, and the denominator is going to be the revenue of the previous year. Now that we have our calculation of the percentage of growth, we can see inside the same table, and we can note that it's 0.28. All that we need is just to see that value inside a percentage format. To do that, you just need to click on the measure, go to the format tab, the measure tools tab, and in the format you can specify that this is a percentage calculation. So if you click on that, the tool apply a format of percentage to that value, and Power BI knows that 0.28% means 28%, and now you can see the values in the correct format. And now you can, using this filter, see the difference between the years. So in this case, between 2019 and 2018, we decrease our revenue inside the rural category. But even if you just click in Van Arsdale's, you're just going to see how the market concerns to our product. And let's see if we just go down. In this case, for example, it's impossible to calculate, or it's impossible for the tool calculate the previous year of 2017, because we don't have enough data. So in this case, we just know the revenue of the 2017, but we don't have idea about the revenue of the previous year, and that's the reason that this value is in blank. So yeah, that's all for our lab number 2. Just to refresh a little bit where we just see we just see how to create our first visuals to explore our data, or to explore our model, how to create the different relations between the tables, just to be able to analyze our data in different perspectives. We learn how to create custom columns, custom tables, custom measures using DAX language. We learn how to interact with our filter pane, with our fields pane, how to create hierarchies, groups in our fields, and how to explore our data inside the data visualization, how to explore the model inside the model visualization, how to view or explore the report inside the report view. That's all for the lab number 2, guys. I hope that you learned a lot in this session, and I hope to see you in the next opportunity. So thank you for all.